Okay, so I've got the helmet here. Everything from my slice is lining up just perfectly. As you can see from the front, there's not much that I'm going to have to do with the front as far as sanding, anything like that. I'm still going to obviously sand it basic 220 sandpaper and then wet and dry, just so the primer and the paint stick a little bit easier. But as far as that, that's all I'm going to have to do to that. Maybe a little bit of weathering. But here in the back, as you can see, I have this raft I printed on this. And basically the top of this dome I have to fill in. So I've done this a couple of times on other prints. My Mandalorian, I've done this on, and a couple other prints. So essentially what I'm going to do is just line up this raft over the top, solder, and pretty much just cut everything off, but make sure that there's still a good enough attachment on this raft that it stays above and that it's still like melted into the print itself. And then from there, pretty much either 180 or 60 grit to erase those lines, so that way that's all looks like one piece, and then some Bondo to go over all of this. So that's going to be the main focus of this one. The cool thing is this one will glow green from the inside at night as well, so that's something cool to add on to this. I ran out of the white filament that I had here. I already knew that that was going to happen, but I just threw some of this see-through on, so that'll be interesting. Another thing I'm probably going to have to do is see where I can find, I know there's vinyl tint that I can use, and this file comes out with like the mold of the mask. Seen people using like heat forming, different techniques of that, or I might just put a gold type visor just right in here. So I'll see what the preference is for that and go from there. But as far as the back, the same thing. Not much sanding is going to be required, not much finish is going to be needed. My main focus on this helmet is just this. And this happened with not only this helmet, but the smaller helmet that I did with the this same file. I don't know, for some reason, no matter the orientation, the top of this helmet here, this piece just doesn't come out. And I even printed this piece with the full raft, which made this take a little bit longer. And the raft printed out perfectly all the way to the top. But once the file started to get here, for some reason it just failed. So I don't know. This is something that I have to look at, something that I may have done. But I like to share my failures with you guys, so that way if you do try to attempt this, you know what to look out for. You might try it and actually succeed in it. You might print this all in one or something else. Definitely, like I always say, leave a comment. You never know, it could help me, it could help somebody else. But besides that, let me get my soldering iron warmed up and get this attached. It's all smoothed out now. So you've seen basically all I did was just use some of the Bondo. Same way you would use Bondo over any of the gaps or spots that you have. Over the raft, which is again the same thing, still the print, and just use that to patch that in. There are other methods that you could use to do that. I've seen some people use like a 3D pen and fill in gaps. You can kind of get pretty creative with that. From here, this line here, once I solder the two helmets together, I'll make that a little bit more straight. Cut that off. But from this part, I'm just going to prime it. I have the front of the helmet primed. And then from there, I just have to see what I have to do as far as sanding the rest of the helmet. Solder it, paint, it's done. All right, so I got the back piece sanded down now. Or at least that patch melted in there and looking pretty good. So now I'm just gonna add another layer or two, probably just another layer of primer, and really sand this down. Make it all the same consistency, make it all look good. And another coat of primer after that, and then the paint. The front of the helmet is still looking good. I just have to put a little bit of Bondo in that spot there. Besides that, everything else is looking good. So the same thing, just a little bit more Bondo, one more layer of primer, sand, and then paint. So I have just like this little, I got this at it makes my head look super conish, but I got this little headpiece doing some indoor racing. It's actually the biggest racing track in Massachusetts, supercharged. It kind of helps with the helmets, I'm not gonna lie. I started to use this for when I do scans of my head as well. So yeah, definitely like it. What do you think? This thing slips on super easily, comes off super easily. I like this one. I just have to add the visor. For the visor, I don't have the I don't have like a golden type visor, so I'm gonna go with the regular black 5% tint, which is okay for the with the customer. That I would definitely have to try again. I've seen people use what is it, vinyl tint, which is illegal in the US for cars, but you can still use it on props. I've seen some people take out their goggles that they use for snowboarding and use something like that. So there definitely are different ways that I could have gone with this, but just trying to get it to the customer. The black visor 5% tint was definitely good enough for them. As you can see, all my weld lines are hidden, so this all looks like one good piece. But I can't wait to see the reaction video when the kid gets this, because if I made this for myself, I wouldn't take it off. The same thing as my Taskmaster helmet. I just wouldn't take it off. This thing is cool. I'd be playing, at his age, I'd be playing Xbox all day with this thing on. Headset, everything. Like, you wouldn't be able to talk to me. So I hope he does enjoy this. I hope you guys did enjoy the build. As always, I'm always working on something new. I know I've been anticipating the Laughing Batman. That is still coming. I still have Cyborg's helmet to finish, and many more to come. So as always, guys, hit the subscribe button so that we are fully aware when I post these videos. And if you like my builds, then definitely hit the like button and the share button, because you never know who else these builds can help or influence. As always,